I'm now going to do, this is the 12th of December, 2:39 a.m. I'm going to do Occult Practice Sorcery, which is segment 5. It's not very long, but it's long enough. I think it's just too much to hear them all together. It doesn't give you a chance to think about what you've just learned, if you've learned something. So, occult practice and sorcery was quite commonplace now, and they're teaching it to children. And children are thinking it's normal and okay, and they know more about that and nothing about God. They don't know what they're playing with, the dangers. They're really, really dangerous. Absolutely dangerous. That's why I decided just to do this one too, because this has more effect than all the other stuff that I've done before, because that it concerns people who already know they have issues, but this concerns children. They're doing it. I mean, they're celebrating Halloween, but they're doing this stuff all year round. And they're playing with Ouija boards and all sorts of things. So anyway, this is very, very dangerous for them. So, occult practice and sorcery, which they think is just fun. These are the experimental resources, the signs and wonders, and they are, of paganism, seeking spiritual help in ways that are forbidden by God. Read Deuteronomy chapter 18, 9 to 14 verse, and Apocalypse or Revelation chapter 9 verse 20 to 21, and chapter 16, 12 to 16, chapter 18 verse 23, chapter 21 verse 8, chapter 22 verse 15. They receive help of a kind, but fall into the power of their helpers. A man had his damaged knee miraculously restored by a healer, not a Christian healer. It's Jesus Christ who heals with Christians, not the person, they're just the vessel. But developed suicidal depression. Occult power is not only of deception, but also of the energy which belongs to all spirits. Remember, angels and fallen angels and demons have power, spiritual power, given by God at their creation. They're more stronger than us, including those who have fallen. They're still there, they're still around, they're fallen, but they're around. On the human side, occult practices are an attempt to exploit the psychic, the sixth sense that is a part of our nature, but not a high part. Animals are often more psychic, like wolves. That's not written here, but it's true. Animals are often more psychic than humans. However, being invisible, it can mimic the highest part of our nature, our spirit, and if developed, almost inevitably becomes a channel for the demonic. Occult practices fall into 3 groups: magic, seeking to use the psychic demonic axis to gain power; divination, fortune telling, using it to gain knowledge; and spiritism. Spiritualism, trying to make contact with the spirits of the dead. All these occult practices are direct invitations to the devil, which he readily accepts in corrupting and destroying millions of young people in our time. They are closely related to drugs, demonic music, and pornography. They all involve an abandonment of the self-control with which human beings are entrusted. The thin edge of the wedge. Soft drugs, yoga for relaxation, horoscopes just for fun, and so on. I could go on giving you a whole list. It's more dangerous than the thick end because, hold on a moment. Sorry about that. Is more dangerous than the thick end because more deceptive, an evil spirit tries to make his entry as unobtrusively as possible. Beware of any claim to mediate beneficial energies. For example, Reiki. They do them courses all over. They've done them in this building. I was telling all my neighbours and the women from the local village where we live, it's not good, it's not good. I couldn't say too much. The woman was, I was praying silently. What can you do? Just get up and walk out and leave everyone. I prayed against it. No one knew. They won't watch this because they don't know I do this. But I prayed against it. They do Reiki everywhere now. Any courses that promise the peace that Christ promises, for example, enneagrams, any alternative therapy with its roots in Eastern religion, for example, even acupuncture, it has a spiritual side of it, so does yoga. Even when these panaceas are more the work of autosuggestion than of the devil, they are not harmless. I repeat, they are not harmless. They damage people spiritually so they never turn to God. Never. My mother did yoga when she went to India in 1966. My father died of leukemia in 1973. And my mother never had any more faith in God. She used to go to church when Dad was alive all the time, did the flowers, did this, did that. And my brother said she didn't want a funeral when she died a year ago. Most distressing thing that ever happened. I was with her when she died. They sent me away because they didn't want trouble from me and my children, not giving her a funeral. They said it was her wish. I'll never know. But I believe that yoga affected her because she used to stand on her head up the wall, all sorts of positions and things. I think when she was in India, she must have done something spiritual as well as physical. So I don't agree with those sort of things. Even when these panaceas are more the work of autosuggestion than of the devil, they are not harmless. Sanity depends upon our relationship with reality. The infinitely precious power given to man, which enables him to put his faith in the truth in Christ, is sinfully wasted when it is misdirected to unrealities by auto-suggestion. My beloved, says St. Paul, shun the worship of idols. That's in 1 Corinthians 10 verse 14. What is called the New Age movement is paganism, reduced to absurdity, but unfortunately it has not lost its poison in the process. New revelations. Christ, God the Son, is the total revelation of God to man. Since the age of the apostles, there is development of doctrine, but no new public revelation. However, false Christs and false prophets will arise and show great signs and wonders to lead astray, if possible, even the elect. You'll read that in Matthew chapter 24, verse 24. Among these are Mohammed Islam, Joseph Smith, the Mormons, Sun Myung Moon, the Unification Church, and countless other heretical prophets and false messiahs, founders of sects and promoters of cults, all leading their followers to a demonic bondage of conscience, pride, self-glorification. You see it everywhere on the internet, on all these social media things. Pride is the specific trait of Satan. There are two kinds of Satanism: occultic, in which Satan is worshipped literally. They do it in America. They have churches built just to worship Satan. That's where it's big, and probably everywhere else as well, but more secret. In which Satan is worshipped as a person. He's a fallen angel and they worship him as a person. He's an angel, a demon. And what is said to be even more terrible, and certainly is even more deceived, a rationalist, in which Satan is regarded as an impersonal force or symbol, and the glory belongs to the Satanists. How close to rationalist Satanism, without realizing it, is atheistic scientism, the hubris of science going beyond its proper sphere and moral boundaries, the tree of knowledge, presently spreading its branches throughout our Western culture, which is rapidly becoming that of the whole world. Another form of pride is the cult of emperor worship and the megalomania of the Herods and Hitlers of every age. But those who have no such earthly power are not immune. For from within, out of the heart of man, comes evil thoughts. You read Mark 7, verse 21. 30 years ago, Paul Vitz wrote an essay on current psychiatry entitled Psychology as Religion, the Cult of Self-Worship. But Satan outdoes any secular psychologist in sowing seeds of a good self-image that kills the soul. And there is a magazine out called Selfish. I'm going to end on that note, because the next topic in segment 6 is perversion. So I'm certainly not going to do that now. I'm going to say God bless and good night. It's 13 minutes and it's 2:53. Goodness me, that's nearly 3 a.m. The time has gone quick. Oh my goodness me. Good night. God bless.